Welcome to Brothers and Booze with Doug Ziegler and yours truly, Greg Washington. How you doing, Doug?
I'm doing great, man. How about you?
I got Hot Bear with Mosaic from Parched Eagle Brew Pub in a dirty ass glass.
Hey, Dirty Ass Glass is our specialty here, right? Maybe you should just change the name of the show to Dirty Ass Glass.
Dirty ass glass.
Might be
Right.
there.
So Hot Bear, which you can't see on my green or you can see a little. Anyway, you can't see it
Put
on
it
my
in front of your face.
bullshit. But Hot Bear IPA is the flagship of Parched Eagle Brew Pub.
Okay.
And this is the one that Jim does with Mosaic. Parched Eagle Brew Pub is a place that I consider so home, and I'm not currently on the books there, but if they need me, they know they can call me. One of those type things, but it's COVID, so I mean, it's, you know what I mean. So hours are limited, so I'm not even on their radar, and I shouldn't be. But this is on my radar, and this is fantastic. This is a big, not so juicy, very balanced IPA. And Mosaic brings out the juicy part, but I always like to say it's snappy. What are you drinking?
So I pulled this, and I have to admit I bought it for the name and the can. From Springdale Brew Company, a beer called Quest. IPA. I'm a big Tribe Called Quest fan, but kind of had to buy it. I think our friend Jeff said that he's a little on the fence of things like this because of the fact that if they're not affiliated with the actual group, that he feels a little weird about it, which I kind of agree with him.
So do I.
But like the label is really super nifty. Hazy IPA made with Nelson and Matuka hops.
Matuka.
So, super hoppy IPAs are not generally my jam, but this is hazy, so I'm hopeful.
I'm liking these new boxes that StreamYard gives me. You can be big over there and small. It's beautiful. Look at that.
Look at that. That looks gorgeous, doesn't it? Ooh, that smells lovely. It smells juicy.
Juicy.
Oh man, that's excellent. Like you got a little bit of the hops, a little bit of the citrusy flavors, really, really superb. And I think I'm gonna I have some things to send you that I haven't yet, and this has got to be one. I think you really take this. It's not hop forward. You definitely get the hops flavor, but the citrus and the hops blend super well. Very crushable, like super drinkable. So this would be like if you're outside, and it doesn't even need to be hot. It's not saying it like that. It's like even if it's just a nice day out, this would be super drinkable even outside. So highly recommend.
Yummy, yummy. What's the style again on that?
There's hazy IPA, 6.8%. From Springdale. It's they call it a Northeast IPA, so that's where the thing. I didn't see that part. So yeah, so Springdale, I think it's Connecticut, if I'm not wrong.
So Springdale, Connecticut.
I don't know.
Couple, what do they call them? Couple business items we should take care of here, or business items, but
Sure.
Couple of notes, not business items. Couple notes we should make here.
Border.
One, you want to give a shout out to. I want you to give a shout out to our guests that we're supposed to have tonight and explain that.
Yeah, so our friend was Ariana Bradford was supposed to be on our show tonight. Unfortunately, she is in the middle of California, and her sky is on fire, and there are many things on fire around her. So her and her family had to evacuate their house. So good juju and whatever you can send her way, Godspeed to you guys. Hope everything's well and that everything's intact. And, we'll have her on another time. As you and I spoke earlier offline, it was like, man, this kind of puts things in a bit of perspective, as does this day. So, it's just one of those things where it's like, oh yeah, this is great. And this is perfect. And we enjoy this. And it's a good escapism thing. But yeah, sometimes it's good to get a little perspective on that. So good luck, Ariana.
Yeah, and this is she was a guest that Doug booked. So earlier in the week, I was, she had contacted us and told us that, it may be the case that she might miss because of the fires. And I immediately told Doug, I was like, we should just cancel her. And I didn't mean in that negative way. I meant like I don't really care about this dumb show compared to a fire and all that. So like I didn't even really want to even be concerned about it all week. But it ended up, Doug's like, no, let's just, obviously she
was gung ho. She wanted to wait it out. So
yeah, she can make her own decisions to figure it out and all that. And ultimately she did. So we just want to wish her well. And we're sending a cheers and hopefully the best to everybody out there.
Yeah, everybody. And the Pacific Northwest, which we have guests coming up from there too. So it's a mess up there too. So man, it just feels like the whole upper West Coast is on fire. And I really hope everybody stays safe.
Absolutely. So that was one item. And another item is, I don't know how else to frame or say this without just hitting a note right ahead. But, today is 9/11. So obviously that's a big event in remembrance for our country here in America. And as cynical as an asshole that I've been towards this country, basically my whole life, sincerely, it just goes out to everything that we went through that day. And, it's a day that we can never forget in our history of this country. And even when we're most divided, this should be something that we should all agree on. Anything to say on that, Bill?
I think you're exactly right on that. There's a lot of shit that's going on, and we all kind of have to take stock of how, like, it's been 19 years. It doesn't feel like 19 years, but just the idea of like, holy crap, this happened. And, I remember exactly where and when, I can remember where I was, as everybody can in this particular instance. So yeah, it's a heavy day in some ways, in a lot of ways actually, but I think our goal here is to try to lighten that load a little bit, let everybody kind of have some drinks, chat with us, tell us what you're drinking, just have some fun, because everything's heavy and it's nice to actually have a little bit of time where it isn't.
Right. So that's a great segue to what we want to talk about now, which is just a little backstory before we get to the big thing, which is, first of all, I don't know if you guys don't know, or I know you guys don't know this because you don't deal with Doug Ziegler on a weekly basis like I do, but this man never wants to take a week off. So let's just start there. So we've been running since Dad 2. We've had a show every week since Dad 2. And before that, we had a show every week since late December is when I was sick and I couldn't do the show. But Doug has been here the whole time. I've been in and out of cities, Montana. I've been in Philly. We've been everywhere. Doug has been here. Doug is the only person that's been on every show. And look at that, right?
Wow.
So even coming up, I was like, Doug, we should take a week off just to take a week off. And Doug's like, yeah, he kind of agreed. so you did. You kind of agreed, right? I'll let you jump. What were you gonna say?
My problem is my work ethic, workaholic attitude is gets in the way of that kind of shit. And
right.
Unfortunately, sometimes I have trouble shutting that part of my brain off. So I apologize.
I was like, Doug, I don't, if it's, if you guys, I don't know. Again, we can all talk about this soon though, but I don't know where everybody is as far as like where you're going out, whether you go, would you go out to a restaurant on a patio? Would you go to a bar on a patio? Would you just do curbside? I was just saying, hey, it could be a Friday night, you and I are always behind the stream on Friday nights. You can take the lady out, but when Doug's like, I got Saturdays, we got Sundays, we're good, man, it's cool. So I'm like, all right. So then I approached him a different way, which is,
you're the Jedi mind trick, you fucker.
Right. Post-COVID, when everything we get back to normal, I suspect, and you do your own. You don't travel as much as me, but you do your own. You got your own traveling regimen with your family, and you're you probably travel more than me, visiting your sons and doing all that than actually I do. Point is, we figured that it would be better if we had someone here that could be a co-host when one of us isn't here. We can get a show because Doug doesn't like to take off. This is why we.
Oh, but now I can. I have backup.
Oh, so now that's how it's going to be going. Oh man, so Hi, Doug. We're watching from inside Taft Brewery in Cincy.
I think that's my brother-in-law,
Cool.
Adam.
Taft Brewery inside. Interesting. I want to know what's going on in there. But can we get a video? What does it look like? Are you guys distance? What's the deal? I have all these questions when I hear people are out, or I see people are out. PT.
Yeah, I don't see where that comment is. So I'm going to assume it's Adam because Adam had sent me a message earlier saying that they were at that particular brewery. So
yeah, if it comes through Facebook user, that means it's
but I can't even see in the comments in either your two groups or mine. So I don't know where that's coming through.
Yeah, it's definitely Daddy Porter Beer Group because Facebook won't let us show the users there unless they give permission or
there it is.
something like that. Anywho, so we figured we search for guests, or I'm sorry, another co-host, third co-host. He's third co-host. We will anchor most of the shows. He will pop in and out on some of the shows for sure. We got a show booked coming up, which is going to be him and I. So there'll be some mixing of us. He'll be here for our election special, I hope. We're going to get him mixed in on some of our other ones. So I am excited to have, this shows our growth as a stream, Doug. We're actually, we're growing, we're evolving. What's going on?
Yeah, so the person was Adam. The other person is Darren Falk, who is friends with Adam. So what we are going to do is we're going to bring in our international. Should we bring in now? Our show is basically international.
It's international, and quite frankly, it's blacker.
For sure, baby.
I had a straight face till then.
Bigger, blacker, and better.
And,
thank you guys.
And I want to assure everybody that we are not going to change. Look at that dirty ass glass life. We're not going to change the non-production value of the show. Just like Casey's entrance showed, that was completely off cuff.
And I wish I could take it back. But it's good. It's good. Everything's good. Hi guys, how's it going? Thanks
hey
for
man, beautiful. Hey Casey, how you doing, man?
Bring her up.
Good. Thanks for bringing me on as this backup co-host position to help you guys out when you can't be here or shouldn't be here, because it sounds like one, maybe both.
Yeah.
Well, I want to be the first to say thank you for joining our crazy crew here. I'm the annoying one. Doug's the easy one to get along with. So that's your warning.
Okay.
That's a lie, cool. But okay.
You'll see. You'll see.
Hey, no, I'm looking forward to it. And I mean, we were planning earlier in the week to get this announcement out, get things happening. I'm going to share it out on my socials very soon so I can let everyone know that they can hear me live and everything. But it turns out that after spending a weekend at a cottage, I was at a beer. I have this is a recurring story, basically. Every single time I have to come on, I have no beer in the house, and I'm like, I got to make a run. So I went over to our lovely beer store down the street and got 8 different beers. Well, no, I think there's 6 different. I can't count. I got 8 cans of beer. I know I got some duplicates, but I'm not going to drink them all right now because that would be
what? That's your initiation right. You have to drink them all.
Did you guys do that? But we have things such as a blood orange sour from Whitewater Brewing.
Man, that can is nice.
Yeah, we have a lot of cool designs that come really from our microbrews because they want to stand out, and there's a lot of competition. I have Bo's Wag the Wolf, which is I can't make this happen because it's white. Anyway, there we go.
There we go.
So, Wag the Wolf is a white. It's a white IPA from Bo's. You have a Earl Grey Wheat from Collective Arts over in Hamilton, Ontario.
Hey, I get Collective Arts here. I get
Do you?
Quite a bit of it. Yeah.
Collective Arts is probably one of our bigger ones, and also
the porter they make is really excellent. I think it's better than Fiction. Is that the one?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. And then a local Greenwood IPA. Last time I was on here, I had a bunch of the Field Brewery.
Mm-hmm.
And just to make sure my sour taste buds are appeased, I got a Zap Sour IPA from Nickelbrook Brewing.
Oh, I thought it was Nickelback.
No.
And
your fingers were covering the Nickelbrook. You're covering the Brook part. And I was like, oh my God, it's a Nickelback beer. No. I was gonna we brought you out a Nickelback beer.
So much no. So I'm.
What are you gonna start off with?
The Earl Grey wheat is what I'm gonna start with.
That sounds awesome.
Figured it was a different from what I usually go for. Let's see how it is.
So it looks like it took 9 minutes for the first Canada joke after Casey was around here.
That's unsurprising.
Hey, I'm trying to be civil here.
Really?
It's good. It's a good good body to it. Nice flavor. I usually do a lot of sours in the summer, but now that we're getting out of summer mode, I'm starting to transition. And the Earl Grey, I like Earl Grey tea. There's nice notes of it in here, and it's smooth. It's really. I feel like you could sit by on a crisp fall day and drink this and be a happy camper. So without the camping, I've done enough camping. No more freaking camping.
No more camping.
I was outside for 30 days this summer. I'm a city kid. After a week, I'm like, I'm good. But Sarah's like, no, we're gonna go here and go there. And I saw all the beautiful sunsets and did all this stuff and everything, which is great. But shoot, it's a lot of days.
And the pandemic didn't help, right? You having to stay home, did it make her more stir crazy to go out and camp?
No, she needs to be out of the house every day or she loses her mind. And so we go to provincial parks and they have no showers. So imagine not showering for 12 days. It's not my favorite.
So your lady's one of these people that has to leave every day. So how is this pandemic working out for her?
Great.
How do I even say this without fully incriminating myself? We're surviving. It's
I would have to say my lady is one of them too, but the virus has scared the shit. Medical professional, so there's really no problem there as far as that goes. When she had to she was when she was pregnant, she had to be on bed rest. That wasn't good. I wasn't good. So, but
is that when you needed to get out of the house?
Right.
I got to get out of here.
Right. No, Kelly's right though. Listen, everybody needs their space.
Exactly right.
So how do you do it during the pandemic though?
So for me, I am, like I said, as I said earlier, I'm a bit of a workaholic and a doer, and it's why I can't binge watch stuff. I can't sit still that long. I feel like I'm wasting time. So I go out. All right, what can I do outside? What can I do around the house? So I go outside a lot, and Greg knows that I have done an enormous amount of outside work this summer. I expanded our garden by 24 feet and dug that all by hand because I'm an idiot. And then we did 2 flower beds, and now I just dug out all the sod to build a greenhouse. I'm a busybody, which isn't great when you're at my age, because my body just rebels against that the next day. Just what are you doing to me? Stop that shit. So yeah, because 49 is hitting me in 2 days, and that's
hey, birthday coming.
Yeah.
You celebrate? Are you a huge birthday guy, or is that the point now where you just kind of
although next year I will celebrate because I can get my AARP card. So yes.
I know those letters, but I don't know what they mean.
American Association of Retired Persons. I won't be retired, but I'm eligible for a shit ton of discounts, so I'm going to take it.
Hey. Okay.
It's almost like the equivalent of getting a minivan when you're a family dude.
Which I still avoided. I'm still avoiding a minivan until it's utterly needed. But Sarah is big into getting a pop-up tent trailer next year. So we may have to make some decisions. Yeah.
Wait, so what does a pop-up trailer have to do with a minivan?
Hitch.
You can get
being
minivans
able.
that are pop-up trailers as well. Well, not minivans, but vans that are pop-up trailers too.
Do they still make those?
Like Winnebagos that are like that are small like vans.
Yeah. Do they still make those?
Yeah, and then you can pop up the top. They're Westfalas.
Volkswagen still makes one, don't they?
Yeah. Don't tell your wife that because
Sarah's never going to see this. Never.
Well, Casey, luckily no one ever sees this show, so
you're in luck, my friend.
You made it, man. It's fine. I like that though when they do that on TV shows. Sometimes I forget they're like, "Oh yeah, I wouldn't." You say this, and you're like, "Oh, they didn't know about it." Well, they do now because it's on national TV. So, Doug, it's been one of those weeks, man.
It's been that week. It's been a week for several weeks in a row for all of us, I think. So yeah.
This week was a real one for me though, because I really not that I started school a couple weeks ago. This week I really started school. You ever start school and then a couple weeks you're like, oh yeah, it's school, and then shit. Well, this was the shit week of school. So this went down pretty fast.
Can you talk about what school you're doing?
Yeah, I thought I put it on.
But for those that didn't see it.
Yeah. For the two people that didn't see it, I am taking beer. I am doing beer school. I am taking the advanced or intermediate beer brewing class from Siebel Institute, which is worldwide known as brewing. The top place to learn brewing. So once I'm done this, I will know as much as a professional brewer, and I could probably get that job if I wanted to after I pass this class. It's crazy. Cheers. A lot of chemistry, a lot of history, a lot of physics, a lot of memorization, a lot of processes you need to know, fermentation, a lot of memorization, a lot of shit you got to know over, you don't have to know over 100 hops, but there are over 100 hop varieties. And so I have a book to supplement my hop, reading this book, and it's just overwhelming, Doug, at some point, hops. As far as knowledge and beer, and it just becomes a really, really big subject.
It sounds like it's like as complicated as a sommelier exam.
I think you've said that about
maybe more.
It's not sure. It's your own. It's like a really, really not an easy task.
No. So this is the week where I don't know how you guys do school, and this is online, so it's not like a teacher leading you through where you go through the subjects that you're like, oh yeah, I know this one, I know that one. Online, you can just go through and almost see your whole syllabus. So I don't know. I was looking at the tougher ones, and chemistry, man, that's going to be tough. I had problems with chemistry in college. I love science. I'm a science guy. So the love of it is great, but sometimes when you dig in and you have to know all this and remember it, that's when it gets crazy. So that was my week. My week was just really diving in and having that, mental drain as far as when you go to school. You don't really realize it until you go to school and you're just trying to put a whole lot of facts in your head, and then your kid's calling you, and you got to do their homework. And I don't know, Doug, you got crazy kids. So, and what I mean by crazy, I'll say it. What I mean by crazy is they got a lot going on, meaning, the teenagers, the quarantine, we got college age people at college. So Doug has, my kids are, teenagers and they're homeschooled. So it's great. They're around me a lot. But Doug has, if I had Doug's kids, my head would explode with this school, Doug. I'm serious. Because the schools is too much. It's just, I could probably handle it on a daily basis, but like trying to remember, like you said, those two hops that you, what was it, Bazooka? I think I remember where that's from. Bazooka. I see, again, it's Matuka.
Nelson and Matuka.
Anyway, I am all
kind of your next beer, man. You earned it. Let's see.
I'm all kind of discombobulated. But I'm going. We got a couple good videos too, though.
Oh no.
This is gonna be fun. All right, man. Let us some beer and let's see some videos.
Better Off Red, y'all. It's a red beer from Vintage Brewing. Vintage Brewing is the the best brew pub in America last year.
So it's a red ale?
Yeah, it's a red ale. Does it look red in this glass? This glass is actually clean.
It does if you put it that close. The problem is with the green screen that kind of fucks with it, but
Yeah.
no, when you put it close, you can see the red tint to it. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. What do you got?
Like, I'm seeing Kelly and Jay commenting, but I'm trying to figure out where they're commenting from.
Daddy Porter.
I tried there.
Yeah.
I got it. It's in the beer group. I'm there now. Mm-hmm. Wait, no, that's part of it.
Kelly's on the page. Kelly is not
Okay.
in our group, but Kelly is invited for a group if she wants to.
This is such a deep rabbit hole I'm going through right now.
So I lucked out. I forgot a bottle opener, but it's
there we go.
Oh, let's see here.
Peanut butter porter. This is from my friend Jay, who lives in Madison. So I sent him a bourbon, which I will show you guys later, because it's interesting. So yeah, holy peanut butter on that! Wow.
My peanut butter porter. So
yeah, I've never had that peanut butter porter, so I don't have it to compare to. So pours very nice and dark, good head.
Dirty glass. Where's our sign, Casey?
Oh yeah, of course. Let me get that up for you.
Dirty Glass Club.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. I'll bring my dirty ass glass next time so that I can join this club because I'm being uncouth and drinking straight from the can.
So what's great about this is you get the roasty porter and the peanut butter just lays right on top of it the whole time, but it's not overwhelming peanut butter. It's really, really well blended. Greg, that one that you love, I really want to try it and compare it to this. Like, this is really good. I don't know that it's as good as that because I've never had it. It's from Dangerous Man, isn't it?
Yeah, the one I'm talking about is from Dangerous Man, and that's from Point Brewing, Stevens Point, Wisconsin. Solid brewer, old school.
Yeah, they have they have fucking nothing on their label.
Yeah, it's Point. It's Point.
Like literally just nothing. And I'm like,
they're old school, man.
I don't know any of the story of this beer, but it's super good. But have you ever had this particular one, Greg?
No. I've seen it before, but I've never had it. Nope.
I would like if you can find it and try it and tell me what you think if it compares to Dangerous Man. Now, Dangerous Man's a hard one to compare to because that brewery is freaking ridiculous. But
right.
I would one day like to go through a Canadian versus American beer conversation, not debate, conversation. I don't know enough to say, which one and what works in each one, but I feel like there's some differences in the approaches.
I'm sure
it's side of the border.
Also, there's different water up there. The water you use to make the beer is going to be different. So yeah,
that's valid. Yeah,
this is the only area that I will argue that America is better than most places is beer.
Ooh, okay.
And variety of beer. And that's because of hops of it. It's because of resources, actually. Resources and ingenuity and innovation. So that's where I go.
Wait. Resources was one thing, and then you said ingenuity and innovation. Bro, we're smart.
Sure. But you don't have the population backing. You know what I mean? Like, you guys don't have enough people to You guys have
a lot of people.
Right.
So many people.
Even when the shitty brewers do shitty shit, we have more better brewers to morph out the shitty ones. If that makes any sense.
Okay, fair enough. I'm going to give a quick shout out to both Kevin and Beer Days. And also I'm going to say I run numbers a lot. I think I talked about this last time, but out of our massive, second largest country in the world, only 20% of the land is inhabitable.
Wow.
So all of our 37 million people, it's funny. Like there's a map I love, and it's basically
Canada has
shows
37 million people.
Mhm.
That
Yep.
is like 3 times the size of the United States.
Yeah,
Like,
the country's
area-wise.
huge. And well, this is
Mhm.
the thing. There's my favorite map of Canada is like basically a huge, like, let's say Canada is like a huge block like this. There's a line that goes like literally across the bottom of that entire map of Canada and says 50% of Canada lives above this line and 50% lives below. And 50% is like we live in like that little part of Canada is where 50% of our population lives because the rest of it's too damn cold.
Right. So you're hitting on my resources point.
I get it. I get it. It's like, yeah, we have lots of resources if we want to go to like the Arctic.
Sure, and
No one wants to go to the Arctic.
I mean, right. And who no one wants to argue that's what, and I'm not even trying to get political here, and it's going to sound like I'm not. But that's what really makes America great. Sorry, is the resources. It's this area of land in this latitude that is perfect to do a lot of things.
For growing random stuff and making it work.
Yep, farm and be idiotic, and there's so many different things.
Kevin asked how much of the beer is drinkable up here. Kevin, all the beer is drinkable up here. All of it. I've rarely come across a Canadian beer I didn't like.
We've had Moosehead down here.
I said rarely.
How much of the beer is drinkable? I would say as much as ours, right? I mean,
yeah, that's a fair, because how much shitty beer does America produce? There's a lot.
Well, we can now say that AB InBev is not owned by America.
No, what we're not talking about Molson right now. Stop it, Kevin. Stop. Okay. See, now Kevin's hitting on like a bit of a sore spot for me here in that, we have a younger age of drinking than you guys have. Like, you guys have to wait till 21, which is insane. So we start at 18 in most provinces, 19 over here in Ontario. But, if the kids want to learn about beer and drink it, I'm going to make them bougie ass drinkers, and they're going to drink like craft beers, and we're going to get like $20 bottles of wine infused cask sitting beer that they drink at 16, so that when they go to a kegger and start drinking beer there, they're like, oh, I do not drink this filth. Oh, this swill. Why would you feed this to me? And I'd be like, that's the ultimate prevention. It's giving them good ass stuff.
Yeah.
It's a foolproof plan, guys. It's foolproof.
Yeah.
Hey, to that point, so like every week, my youngest one, Eric, I have 3 beers I pick, and he goes, I said, all right, which one do you want to try? And I leave a little tiny bit for him to try. He's 13, but he's just trying it, and he'll go, that really sucks. Or that's really good. Or meh, I give him literally this much. He's not going to get intoxicated, but
I get it.
I think it's so insane that we don't like, if you look at like European countries, like at like 10 and 11, they have wine with their dinner, and like Italy and shit like that. Like they're just not as uptight about it. You just have to be smart about educating your kids.
Let's talk about the Europe versus America divide and how we approach things. Because I remember on all the trips I've taken to Europe, I see like topless women painted on the side of buildings, and they're really, really laissez-faire about sex, because they're like, listen, we all have bodies. It's gonna happen. So you may as well just get this figured out real quick. But violence for them, they're like, yeah, all the gore and everything in movies, like, we don't do that stuff. Like Europe's like, and it's like reverse in America, or I'm just kind of like, yeah. So let's show like all the massacres possible. But whoa, boobs, look, no, don't cover it up. Let's go. And I'm like, priorities are odd.
Well, not no.
But so you have videos, right?
Yeah,
videos to lighten the mood.
I wanted to say now it's time for a sponsor, but we can't even count.
We can't even call you a sponsor. You're
right?
Part of the crew.
No,
I'm in it now.
No, right. So you can't. No, you're not. You're cut off for the sponsorship.
I can live with that. So
who and what does Casey do outside of here? We don't give a fuck. Anyway.
Nobody gives a shit that I fix computers for a living. Nobody cares.
Right.
To hear that shit.
But the low level of production that we do, seriously, I never mentioned my social media. Doug never says Scott's really yours. We're just loosey goosey here. And well, you take that as
Yeah.
Good on you, Kelly. Well done.
Manischewitz, that's a good one.
Did you guys have wine when did your parents? Let's talk about this.
Oh man, I have a story for that. I'll let Doug you start, but I have a story.
Mine will be very brief. My parents are not big drinkers at all. Like my parents might have. My dad. The first beer I had a Rolling Rock with my dad, and I drank about half of it. Like, this is terrible, because beer when you're fucking young tastes like ass, especially if you're drinking ass beer. But like, my parents just aren't drinkers, so like, it wasn't like, oh yeah, you had that. Now, if I come to their place and I go, hey, I'm gonna bring some scotch, or I'm gonna bring, and they don't care, because as long as I'm not driving anywhere, they don't care. But yeah, I do have a job, Kevin. How do you think I buy all that Mad Elf, motherfucker?
I love that we get trolled on this stuff. Back to what you're saying.
Yeah, I don't survive on my writing, that's for sure.
Oh snap!
Oh, you're very self-deprecating here. There's no question on that one.
Yeah, well, okay, but Kevin actually is right. He's a professional freaking writer.
Right.
That guy gets all right. He gets mad props, so whatever.
Yeah, but he
may do shit, but I admire the fuck out of him.
He definitely follows shitty baseball teams, and I know because I used to be a Mets fan. So come at me, Kevin. I already know. I just stopped watching at the strike. But anyway, Casey, you're going to tell us about how when you were young and you were boozing, what was going on?
Well, we didn't drink actually, because I had an alcoholic grandfather, so my dad never drank and brought alcohol in the house. However, when I started dating a Dutch girl, my now wife, my mom's like, oh, you're European, you must drink wine. And then she basically got her a glass of wine and was really happy for it, until she was like really awkwardly drinking this glass of wine at the table, realizing none of us were drinking whatsoever. And ever since then, now we drink in the house. I just basically like, Sarah, you've corrupted our family, and now we drink at home. Yay.
Yes. Doug, he thought Joe carried your ass, Doug.
I'm really heavy, so I don't think she could do that.
Financially heavy? How does that work?
As in, I weigh a lot of pounds.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
So Joe carries her own weight.
Really?
Yeah. She's freaking fantastic. So
no. Jill carries her own weight. I wasn't really in that. I already know that. That's old news. I'm talking about what Kevin's saying here.
Crappy Red Sox.
Yeah. All right, it's time.
Kevin, I'd rather you would have stayed with the Mets. Fuck the Red Sox.
Right. Fuck all Boston teams. Damn it. While we're here, Casey, you don't do the sports ball, do you? But we'll wait. We'll wait, because I'm gonna. I want you to have a version. Okay, so I never lead up to these videos because I don't want to sway what people think. But this one I'm going to lead up a little bit. You have like this lady's in a car and she's saying the same thing over and over again, and it's going to take you a while to figure out what she's saying. But once you get it, it's okay. Cool. So, right. It's okay. So yeah, here we go. Here we go. Can you guys see that? You can see that.
There we go. Turn up the volume. Good. What the fuck was that?
Why do you show us these things?
All right, I'm gonna say as a partially deaf human, all I heard was an Ozzy Osbourne shriek at a microphone. That's all I heard that whole time.
I will translate for you.
Yes.
Your penis is too small.
Your penis is too small. You're tiny. Your penis is too small.
Kelly,
You're tiny. I'm
Greg, you don't have to announce that publicly about me, man. I was trying to.
No, so actually, if you want me to play it again, just so you know, because it took me a few times to hear what she's saying, but I believe the lady's on the phone screaming at her boyfriend that his penis is too small.
There's
And
a point where she's like, "It's still too small," and I was like,
she was.
What did I sign up to be co-host of? Like, guys, like, what is it?
Okay, so I got another one. Was that? This one's more clearly defined, and I don't know, like 2020 has. Okay, look, I'm just gonna play it.
Just pop it on. Just let it happen.
We're just gonna do this, and then we'll so. Woo, people, man. Okay, so let's see here.
Here we go. Make sure the volume is up before you start.
Oh, the volume is going to be good on this one. No worries.
Have a good day, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you. Have a good day. Have a good day. Hi, ma'am. Please leave my store. Excuse me. Please leave my store. Excuse me. Please leave my store. Thank you. Please leave my store. Whoa. Yeah, have a good day. Have a good one. Thank you. Have a good one. Thank you.
Wow. I like that the guy that came in was like, and he just took like a fucking left turn. It's like, I'm getting the fuck away from that person. Like, he walked in the door, like, nope, I'm way over here.
You're right, Kelly. Priorities, man. That coffee looked like it was finna spill at any moment.
Yeah, and she came in. That was something I noticed too, Kelly, was like, she came in and she was talking, all of a sudden her cup was like almost sideways.
We gesticulate. You know, you got to make sure that that cup stays in a nice, secure spot so that you can gesticulate with ease. If you're going to be ratchet right.
So I can't even, Doug, I don't, Casey, you can't, sorry, you're above the border. You're not down here. You're not down here dealing with this COVID, this crazy ass president, this crazy ass, well, you're dealing with crazy ass racial shit. You're black. You'll deal with that shit everywhere. But Doug, I'm becoming more afraid of the Karens and that kind of shit, getting caught up in any kind of that shit. Listen, I can sit here and show you before the show. Here's a little secret. Before the show, I look up these videos. And then what I do is the ones that we don't use for the show, I'll tweet out on my account. So then you'll see a whole bunch on Fridays of what I'm going through the Karens to figure out like what we're going to bring on the show. I go through about 10 or 15 of these, and it just makes me feel for humanity. And it makes me weep for days that I think that we were more normal. And I'm just telling you, Doug, I'm scared of going out more with these people than I am the virus at this point. Seriously.
I have to agree. Like, so I'm a white guy, and it's really easy for me to walk through things and not be in the middle of all that. But like, holy shit, I worry. Well, part of me is like, every time I go into a place where there are too many Karens, it's like you almost are doing kind of the "Where Is the Love" video from Black Eyed Peas.
Black Eyed Peas, yeah.
Where is the love?
So, hold on just a second, please. Eric, can you let Jen know she can play Apex?
Really?
Yeah. Sorry. I got 4 kids. What do you want?
What's an Apex?
No. So Apex Legends, right, Doug?
Yeah, okay.
Apex Legends?
Yeah, that's what Jen plays.
Right.
And so, like, my sons play CSGO. Like, it's a whole gaming household.
And how many gaming
Gotcha.
houses do you have in that house?
So there's an Xbox downstairs, and then there's 2 computers for my son to play CSGO, except my one son's computer needs to be upgraded because it can't even play CSGO, so I got to work on that.
Yeah,
So,
you got gaming heads, man. Your boys are...
And my oldest, actually, he's at college. He's a Nintendo Switch because he likes playing Zelda and all that stuff. Yeah.
Kevin. What the heck?
Kevin is fun.
Yeah.
He is on it today.
You know the idea that as you met me at Dad Bloggers.
You know what, Doug? I'm thinking we should have brought Kevin on as our co-host.
There would be a 4-person co-host.
Never get jiggy.
If I had pearls, I'd clutch them.
Kevin is dropping bombs tonight. That shit's hilarious.
I'm gonna have to up my game. Kevin, you can't have the spot, man. I got it. It's mine.
Doug, you were saying something about something.
I don't even remember.
Oh no, we were talking about Karens, and I'm afraid to go out because I'm going to get caught up in some MAGA fight, some Karen at the.
Yeah.
You can't even go through the drive-thru. Remember last week we saw the one in the drive-thru screaming and hollering, and I mean,
go down and play Apex if you want. Sorry, I got freaking kids.
I'm not complaining.
Hey, we all got these kids.
But, so to me, it's more like, so as a white guy, I can navigate the Karens. They don't give me shit because I'm a white guy. They think I'm part of their crowd.
No, I don't even know if that's true.
They might not, but I tell you, when I see some freaking, let me ask you a question, Greg, and Kate, you're not there.
Don't give a fuck. Karens don't care.
That's true. But when you see, so my big thing is like seeing, like, I see a house that has like a gazillion Trump flags, or I see a freaking, thanks, Beer Days. But I see a car that's just adorned in freaking MAGA stuff. I'm terrified to, like, most times I'd have just like, fuck you, and give them the bird and drive. I'm terrified to do that now. Like, there's one. So I live in New York State. So the big thing is, if you're a conservative, it's fuck Cuomo because he's our governor. And he's not a super liberal guy. He's pretty middle of the road.
No, he's not. He's not right. He's not a liberal guy, right?
No, he's not a liberal guy. But man, conservatives fucking hate him. So I saw a bumper sticker where Joe was driving today or yesterday, I can't remember. But we were going to Lowe's to pick up the rest of the sand for the greenhouse base. And we were behind a jacked up pickup truck, and it has a fuck Cuomo, but the F is an AK-47. And I'm just like, and Joe's like, will you stop that? And she's right, because that guy probably has 18 guns in his freaking truck.
You know what concerns me? This is what concerns me. There's so many guns and so many shootings in the States that how many of them don't even make the news because it happens so often?
Oh, there's a gazillion of them that don't make the news.
Like, it's crazy to me because, like, you know, every shooting, like Toronto has, I think, the most shootings per year in anywhere in Canada, just because we have a tenth of the population, so there's a lot of people here. But a busy year for us in shootings is like when we start going above like 70, 80, we get worried. We're like, yo, it's getting crazy in here. Like there's 80 like murders. This is not cool. Like, because we're not supposed to have guns in the first place. So like I just it's like when all the gun culture and everything that comes, that is celebrated through the NRA, through certain states have more flexible gun laws. I'm like, how? Why? I don't get it. But that's scary. That is scary. Guns are American poutine. Lord, if you guys are eating guns, there's a bigger problem if y'all are eating guns.
I'm gonna tell you, there'd be people if they could eat the guns.
They would.
I'm pretty sure poutine is
part of my American diet.
well, right. That and bleach, right?
Wow, Kelly, that's a lot. That is a lot.
300 plus, is that murders? Is that what we're talking about?
I think so.
She's right.
I even know who that is. I have a lot to learn. I have a lot to learn in order to get in the lingo for this. Tide Pods. What?
There was a Tide Pod thing down here. You didn't.
No, we got the news of the Tide Pods, and I'm just
right.
Oh no, Greg. I'm gonna show you who Captain Spaulding is.
Oh really? Okay, no.
I'm worried.
Right, I'm worried too.
How does Victor know about this guy?
Let's see here. Oh, really? This is special. Here we go.
Are you ready?
Wow.
Oh, Rob Zombie. So yeah. Victor must be a Rob Zombie fan, which I am too. I like me some Rob Zombie. He's crazy, but that's something, Victor.
Only song I know is Dragula. Dragula. Sorry. Don't want to get the YouTube.
To the back of my
Dragula.
All right. So
all right. Oh wait.
I think that's a very different song.
Victor explains himself.
Hey, I do too, Victor, and I saw a House of 1,000 Corpses, and I didn't notice that one. So, all right, Casey, give us that one, man. What do you got?
Yeah, so the Wag the Wolf White IPA is bright with citrusy hops, or in French, vive houblon agrumé. And yeah, we'll see how this goes.
Sorry, you're classing it up. Man. You got to tone that.
Je parle un peu de français. Je suis canadien.
Wow.
Canadian, yeah.
Oh yeah, I can bust out the French at any given time. So watch yourselves. Mm-hmm. Or Jamaican patois, that too.
French is sexy language. I'm sorry, it is.
French is dope, but it's funny because I'm born in like the Toronto area. I'm born in Canada, and I only know patois because that's what my parents would use on me when they got mad at me. So I started using on my kids when I get mad at them, and now they're at the point where just kind of like they understand it when I say it to them, and I'm like, oh shoot, I get mad a lot. On that note, let's try this beer.
Daniel Woods for 10-second karaoke segments only if we can get some people to pitch in to pay for that shit.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you, nobody wants to hear me sing. So,
and nobody wants to pay to hear you sing.
That's for sure. What do you think, Casey?
It's pretty good. It's I haven't got to the point yet where I can really. Thank you, Kevin. I appreciate that. I haven't got to the point yet where I can like tell IPA notes apart. My tongue is not like it all kind of blends together for me. So I need to get better at that. So I will look to you, classy gents, to help me out on that one. It's good.
Forte. So
what? I just want to know what Kevin thinks. Casey brings class to the show. So what was it before?
These are valid questions. I think he thinks
Canada equals class, which he's not exactly wrong considering where we are right now. So yeah.
That's right. I'm starting to think that Kevin is just mad that we didn't pick him as a third co-host.
Well, he was excluded because of the Mad Elf thing. So sorry, Kevin.
Doug, do you have another beer? You've been sitting on
do. And this is what I've been looking forward to. You've had it, I know, Greg, but it's not common to me. I have a friend of mine, the one that sent me the PBE cup, also sent me Wolf.
Oh,
oops.
So this is one I keep hearing great things about. I don't get 3 Sheeps here because I'm in upstate New York. So I also cut my fingernails today. So yeah.
F Mad Elf.
Yeah. That's why you're not on, Kevin.
Oh, wow. Oh, yikes.
I think Beer Days approves of your beer choice there, Doug.
Oh,
Heavyweight beer.
That was a beer choice somebody sent me. So here's my Black is Beautiful glass, which I'm really digging.
I need one of those. I'm going to look it up right now.
I need one of those too.
17% brewery out of Texas has them. So.
Ooh.
Wolf, is that barrel aged Wolf or that's just Wolf?
It's a barrel aged.
I should sell.
Bourbon barrels. Holy moly, is that freaking boozy?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, baby.
You might have should have got 2. Maybe I can find one. I probably can't find one at this point. It's probably sold out. I love when Doug gets Wisconsin beers that I haven't had. I've had barrel aged Wolf, but not this year.
So my 13-year-old is sitting next to me. He's like, "Can I smell that?" Yeah, here, hand it over. He tastes it. It really is the best. I mean, he takes the tiniest sip, and because that kind of shit's an acquired taste. It's not easy to just delve into barrel aged stuff. So yeah.
So I'm sorry, Doug. Go.
This is really boozy, but excellent because the stout is really good. The stout's really developed. Sometimes you get like those super boozy stouts, and the stout is just kind of there.
Yep, I know what you said.
This has got a nice stouty base with the booze on top of it. Yeah. I'm gonna drink every sip of this. It's freaking delicious.
Wolf is a great stout. You've acknowledged it. It's a great stout before you do the bourbon. So Casey, I think we asked you this before, but we're going to define it now. Where are you at with the bourbon barrel aged? Because I know you're a sour guy, and just to let you know, in case you don't know, so a lot of the sours happen in barrels. Some of the sours happen not in barrels, but some of them do happen in barrels. Because I know you like to say, so we got to go on a little bit. Let's go on a little bit of deep dive here. So the first question is, are you into the bourbon barrel, whiskey barrel, rum barrel things?
Yep, I'll mess with them, especially rum. As a child of Jamaican lineage, rum is delicious. I always have a bottle of Appleton's on hand because Appleton Estates is very Jamaican. Is what we do. So yes, rum age especially. I've done bourbon, but I haven't done too much bourbon. Bourbon I find is just like it doesn't translate well up north of the border. Like it's something that happens a lot more down there. But whiskey we like in Canada, and rum because we have a huge Jamaican population. The other islands they like rum too, but whatever, Jamaicans run it. So.
Again, here's another one of my America Does Great Beer things, which is, again, we have the bourbon to match with the bourbon barrels. And that all just, again, this is all about resources. It's not really about, again, if any other country had the resources we had, they should be doing the same fucking shit, if not better.
I'm just going to ask a slightly related question. Have you had a Christmas rum cake ever in your life?
Christmas
rum? But I want one.
Okay. Let
me just say that.
No, it's not the same as fruitcake. Like it's the same concept as fruitcake, but it's different. So you still have the bat. So basically, okay, this is what happens. So Christmas comes, December 26th comes along, and my dad will start a actual batch of rum cake. So he'll mix in rum and all the ingredients and put in a barrel in his cold room and hold it there for about 11 months to let it age. And then you bake it and give it out to other people who actually like it because it's that damn good. So when all this settles out and everything, I'm gonna make sure I can get you guys some rum cake because it is one of the Palmer family things. There's two things we make really well. One's rum cake and one is sorrel, based off hibiscus leaves.
That's a nice
And it
liqueur,
you know sorrel. Awesome. Sorrel is
I know a guy who makes sorrel. I don't know.
There you
sorrel. Yeah,
you haven't had it?
I have not. He lives in New York City, and I have
Okay.
not because obviously that when I met him, he's I've known him online for a while, but
Okay.
the COVID, obviously, I'm not going to go in the middle of New York
course.
City to meet him. He also is someone who has alopecia, so he has he's very susceptible to any germ because
Got it.
if you have alopecia, you have no hair in your nostrils, which
to actually capture the germs and everything.
so it captures. So he is just
He's sequestered off.
super cautious. He's a grandmother that's like 90.
Wow.
And she was the one who taught him the sorrel recipe, I think.
Wow.
And I think she's from Barbados.
Yeah, no, they do some sorrel over there too. But I'm gonna have to.
But I think that's where it's from. And so his name is Jackie Summers. He goes by the Liquatorian. Like he's a kind of a well-known person in liquor circles because he knows a shit ton about stuff in that realm. And he talks about sorrels like, oh man, so I have never had sorrel. What is sorrel's flavor profile?
So sorrel comes from hibiscus leaves, and basically it gets ground into a kind of juice that is tart, but has a lot of body to it. And then we just add some rum to it to give it a little bit of kick. And it is just it warms you up really well. The flavor doesn't taste so much like alcohol; it just tastes like a nice juicy drink that you have. You can have it either hot or cold. So it does really well to complement our Thanksgiving and Christmas dinners because when you have a lot of heavy meats, especially in Jamaican cuisine, between chicken, beef, ham, oxtail, all that kind of stuff, plus all your starches with potatoes and stuffing and yada yada yada. You need something that can help wash off, like, I won't call it grit, but it leaves a mouthfeel. And so the sorrel helps to wash that down and everything. But I know I mean it's brothers and booze, so I feel like I can talk about rum and it's still okay. But yeah, sorrel's something I grew up with for a long time.
Great beer. I did a whole show on Scotch.
Booze.
So works.
I had to come back and say booze, man. It's about great.
Greg, what the hell?
Truth be told, as Doug, I chastised him not on the show for sure, but behind the scenes because I want him to bring more scotch. Ask him. And then, but the problem with Doug is that Doug doesn't want to do scotch and then do like the 16% beers that he always does.
Well, it's not just that, so the thing is like, so I can do scotch. Problem is scotch is fucking expensive. So like I can't bring in different scotches all the time. Man.
Yo, Kelly's my favorite right now. It's the Jamaican Manischewitz. It is the Jamaican Manischewitz, 100%. Kelly, you on point. Well done, Kelly.
All right, hey Casey. So I'm going to ask you a question for your former household. When you have food at these family gatherings, again, if you're saying you said Jamaican, is it Jamaican jerk? Is that like the predominant, or is it just a variety of different things? How's it work?
Bit of both. I mean, we're talking Jamaican Canadian, so things had to kind of translate over with the ingredients available up here and things like that. But we do try to integrate enough Jamaican cuisine into our holiday meals. Personally, I try to have a good stock of meats and breads and spices available at any given time. So if I want to throw down, I can throw down. But it all depends. Like the rest of the family doesn't eat spicy food because they're wimps. So I'm working on it, but I like it. I like spice a lot. I actually will promote my friends who create hot sauces and everything and just be like, this adds so much to my food. And Sarah gets horribly offended when she cooks and I put hot sauce on it because she's like, are you saying my food's not good? I'm like, that's not what I'm saying.
No.
I'm just saying I like a little spice.
So Doug's not Doug will explain where he's at with spice, but for me, man, there's this hot sauce that, long story short, there's a hot sauce that I've acquired recently, and it brings out flavor in the food.
Yeah, it does. It adds to it. It complements it.
Right. A good hot sauce does. There's some shitty hot sauces, but like but a good one literally accents and brings out like the spices. Now, again, how much heat is the issue? You know what I mean? I think people think spice and they're like, oh, it's bad, because I'm working on my sons with spice, because we say, oh, it's spicy, and they're like, no, and it's like, no. There's a heat factor. There's a, you know what I mean? There's a nuance here. And if you can get those good, like I think a good hot sauce is like a good beer, man. It has depths of flavor and it just adds to what you're doing. I love it. I don't know. Doug, do you is it the hot sauce or is it the heat that you have a problem with?
It's the heat, because here's the thing. Like, so I get heartburn super easy. I like depth of flavor, and you can bring heat into that, and like, all right. So even like if I'm drinking or if I'm eating like Jamaican jerk chicken,
sure,
I'm gonna do like a staple. It cannot be too spicy, or else I will eat a couple of bites and I'm like, I can't do more, or I'm gonna frickin' just have heartburn.
Yeah, the thing is though, there's ways to do it that have like smooth heat instead of sharp heat, and so a lot of people will just cook with the sharp heat, and it's like they're just going for as spicy as possible versus like, let's put a spice on this or mix of spices that will complement it and bring out the flavor. And a lot of people don't do that, but the people who know what they're doing can cook it in a way where it's just kind of like you still get the same flavor profile if you had the right spices, but it doesn't burn. And so that's what I find a good place will do.
I think it's similar to like Indian cooking, where like Indian cooking can be super flavorful and have spice, but sometimes you're like, holy shit, that's just like too much. Like I just can't handle the heat. It's the heat. It's not the spice flavor. Spice flavor I like. I want to taste what's, for lack of a better term, indigenous to that culture. I want to taste what they're tasting. I want to see what they're getting out of it, because I want to experience that. Again, sometimes there's a spice level that I just can't handle. Like, it's funny when we order Indian food, they're like, and my wife likes really spicy food, and they'll go, do you want Indian hot or do you want American hot? Because there's a difference. Indian hot's way hotter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. What did you do there, Greg, by the way, on the sly?
Oh, this is an Oktoberfest. Where are you guys at with these? Casey, are you an Oktoberfest fan? Do you like them? I know Doug. Doug? Well, I know where Doug is, but Doug, you can tell us where you're at. This is vintage again. I'm pulling out vintage. They do it fantastic. As you guys know, or I know Doug knows, I'm still only on curbside. I still haven't ventured in the brewery yet. So breweries are still doing curbside. Some of them are cutting it back. Not liking that, guys. There needs to be. We'll see how long that lasts into the fall. And I'm not trying to be cynical, but like
you can be cynical on this one.
Okay, cool. Because once the fall, actually, we had 4 rainy days here, and that's not good for our breweries and our restaurants, because all of them are out in the patios. So once it gets cold here and no one's on the patios, I'm not sure what our breweries are going to be doing. And you guys better keep this curbside going.
Oh, we are stupid scared for winter up here.
I am stupid scared. I don't think people are scared enough.
Yeah. I always tell people about Toronto. So Toronto is one of the most southern cities in Canada. And even then, our weather goes from, we can get up to about a good 105 in the summer and go all the way down to like minus 30, minus 35 in the winter. Mm-hmm. And so you're basically at a point where it's just like, winter comes hard. And we know, like, anyone who's in Toronto knows, like anyone who's Canada knows, like, November, December, that's not winter. Winter comes in January, February, March and kicks your ass. And that's when you just kind of like, no one goes anywhere. No one does shit. We just stay inside and like just try to ride it through till April, because it's horrible. And if we're still in, COVID rules in that time, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be something else. And none of us are looking forward to it.
No, and you guys actually, you guys actually bent the curve and you guys actually did the right shit. And really the only reason why you can't open the borders with your fucking delinquent fucking neighbor is because your neighbor is delinquent. And you guys don't happen to be the only ones.
Yeah.
Like 70, 85%, no, I'm sorry, 90% of the fucking world would not allow Americans. So Americans, rich Americans who have money, we go to these places and throw our money around and act like assholes too, by the way. I'm not there, but I know because we act like assholes here. But anyway, that aside, we go to places and throw our money around. So if you don't want our money, it's a bad situation. So with that being said, Casey, yeah, we feel you.
Yep. And Kevin, never compare Toronto to Buffalo. That's offensive. we don't want to be. I didn't want to be in the same room as Buffalo. No.
With good luck.
Oh Lord, like I've been to Buffalo many times. So what used to be the hot thing to do in Toronto was to drive the 2 hours, get over the border, and go shop in Buffalo. But we recognize over time, well, Buffalo ain't shit. So we don't go to Buffalo no more. No, we good.
Kevin is dropping the one line. Like,
this the wood.
Right. This motherfucker, I didn't know he could be a comedian. He's not.
He is throwing out punches tonight.
Kevin has always been funny. Kevin is just
funny though. There's no question. Right.
And it's also just like, I'm wondering how many beers he had tonight because he's just letting it rip.
Yeah, he is. He has a great dry sense of humor too. It's fantastic.
He's killing it.
It tastes a little bit.
We got a lot of comments going on though. Like we have a lot of comments coming in that we have not addressed. There's like you guys have good people.
Yeah,
this is awesome.
Yeah, let's see here. So Beer Days, Greg, isn't there a Jamaican restaurant on Monona Drive? I am not sure. I know that Jamaica closed though, and they were my favorite.
They literally call themselves Jamaica.
They call themselves Jamaica. Yeah, he's a fantastic guy. But yeah, he was old and I don't know. He had it for a long time here, and it recently closed up. But let's see here. Beer Days wants to know if we touched on Surly. Did we talk about Surly?
What is Surly? Talk to me.
Last week. So Surly Brewing had this whole thing where we did last week, Greg, and we had this where Surly basically shut their one tap room, but it was a couple of days after their employees decided to unionize.
Oh.
So the picks were fucking terrible. Ooh. They said it because it was untenable to keep a tap room open in the middle of COVID.
All the excuses.
But in a way, you could see how except you did it 2 days after your employees decided to unionize.
Oh, that is cold. That is cold.
So and the thing was great. Wasn't there was like a statement with Surly said they're trying to unionize and we're going to work with them or some shit like that. It was something that was similar to that. Where they came out to work with them, and then now they're just like, nope, shut it all down.
They came out with the statement that said, yeah, our employees notified us that they want to unionize, blah blah blah. And then 2 days after that, they came out and said that we're closing our big ass, and it's big,
like a giant tap room.
It's a huge tap room, and it spills out to, fireplaces and little cubby holes where you can take your date, Casey, at the brewery. It's all nice there and everything.
Yep.
And Surly's one of my favorite breweries up there, and I'm gonna skip them from now on because they were one of my favorite breweries up there. I'm gonna skip them now because when you go to Minneapolis, Minnesota, the Twin Cities, there are literally, I'm pretty sure, 100 breweries within the context of those two places that I have never been to that deserve my cash. Sorry, Surly, that's where I'm at. I'm good. I don't have to have it. I've had every Surly ever. They have really, really great beers. It's a great place to go to, but I'm not going to recommend it anymore.
Doug, does Kevin live near you?
No, Kevin lives, if you say near, as in like 3 to 4 hours.
Okay, because he said there's great pierogies at Wayne Gretzky's, and I'm like, how you know that? How you know? Like, where are you, man?
He's in Connecticut.
I didn't. Oh, here we go.
Are there Wayne Gretzky's in the States? Or are you talking about the Wayne Gretzky distillery up here?
What is a Wayne Gretzky?
Well, we have a Gretzky's distillery up here in Niagara area that has booze and food and stuff. But as soon as I saw that, I'm like,
does Janet
what's going
Jones
on?
promote it?
Sorry?
Does Janet Jones promote it?
I don't even know who that is.
That's Wayne
Gretzky's
Gretzky.
wife. But
That's why he went to the Los Angeles Kings.
Sports ball.
no,
Sports
Casey.
ball.
Oh, that's
We
sports.
did not bring Casey here for a sports ball.
You got an excuse there.
Daniel, like my little rant on
Surly.
Yep.
Surly.
Beer Days started to turn me off when Todd Hogue ran into some issues. I agree.
There's so many references I don't get.
Yeah, you shouldn't get this one. Actually, Doug won't get this one either. Actually,
I won't either.
Todd,
I don't know who Todd Haug is.
Todd Hogg was, I believe, one of the founders of Surly, actually, or one of the first brewers. He has a beer called Todd the Axeman that in the Midwest is it's a big beer in the Midwest. How about that? It's a regional big beer, if that makes sense. Todd the Axeman is one of my favorite beers. It's a big double. I think it's a double IPA. It might be a regular IPA. It's just fucking fantastic. And Beer Days is saying, Todd and Omar started Surly Brewing, and then Todd got pushed out basically from what we all know. And then Todd went to Three Floyds, which is another big one. Doug, you know them.
Yep,
I
I did a couple of their beers last week. So
yeah. So my point is that Beer Days, and my point is that shit's been going on shady with Surly for a while. So Todd was a mastermind behind the beers, no ownership though. So then they pushed him out and took all his fucking recipes and so I'm pretty much done with Surly, and I can be.
Okay.
We all can be. Why? Because there's 400 other ones. This is the best part about our beer thing here, Casey, is that we're almost actually, knock on wood, there was a conversation, Doug remembers this, that we were oversaturated. We had too many breweries and this, that, and
We
the other.
talked about this. Yeah,
Well,
we talked
the
about this.
pandemic's about to take, with all due respect, the pandemic's about to take care of a lot of that.
Mm-hmm.
And
now,
shit like Surly is going to take a lot of that, and shit like we've seen less of this, Casey.
the mediocrity.
But right, and Darwinism. We've seen less of this recently, but when the pandemic started, we saw more of this. Fuck Black Lives Matter, and these breweries taking these hard right stances and all that. We've seen less of it recently, but when the pandemic started, we saw a bunch of them say some really, really, actually, it wasn't the breweries, it was the owners of the breweries saying some really, really ignorant things. Yeah. And then people are like, oh no, we're done.
Now all,
right.
all the noise was gone.
Right.
Everybody was focused.
Right.
So all the distractions and all the shit. So you had that one brewery. It was 53 Brewery. Was that what it was? Where the owner just said the super racist fucking thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then his kid was like, oh no, he's out. And then you come to find out his son's just like a milder version of him. So it's like,
yay.
Right. And again, it's not, no one's going to go there, or not enough people are going to go. This is where this is the tough part about America, Casey, is that ultimately at the end of the day, the same people will rule out over the crazies. The crazies are just so loud, and they got a platform where in America, we are, for the most part, have freedom of speech. So then, it's Doug, I'm with you. I'm totally with you. So then the crazies get to scream really, really, really loud, and it's damaging, but it also gives you appearance that it's more people than not. But my point is that when these people start screaming, 85 to 90% of their business go out of business. So that at the end of the day, voting with your cash and people, voting with their money and all that. That's where people in America have power. America is a lot of money based. It's all money based actually. So the only really way that we could really affect anything is with our money. So it takes time for these people to come down, and they scream and holler until they're done. we got a coffee place here that is just they refuse to use masks. They got thrown out of the city. It's just a mess. And the no mask thing is just, to me, it's just another extension of racism. Sorry.
Well, I was going to ask actually, because our Canadian Chamber of Commerce says that we expect 60 or so % of our restaurants to close within the next 3 months.
60 fucking percent?
60.
Wow.
60.
Oh.
And so, and so I'm wondering what you guys are hearing down there when it comes down to the future of what it all looks like, because things are like, it's part of that entire small population thing where there's only so many dollars and so many bodies to support it all. So I'm wondering what you guys are hearing down there when it comes down to like what the future of your industry looks like.
I can only speak to like Wisconsin, but I heard I heard 30 to 50% of our breweries, if we don't get our shit together. And we're not getting our shit together because the the lady and I just had a conversation about this. It's because these assholes at UW, the owners, the people up high, want to push to make sure that the kids are here, and the kids are here, and all kinds of help. What was it? 83 people, 83 just athletes alone tested positive in the UW system. Athletes alone, Doug, not the school. So we can't. I refuse to blame the college kids who, if the people up higher would say, don't come here, wouldn't be able to come and do what they're going to do. Don't tell me that you're going to, we'll let you come to college. College is a place where you collaborate. You're around people. You meet people. You're in study groups. You have friends that help you study. The whole thing is about getting together. So I don't, I hold the people who are making the kids come to campus accountable. I don't hold the kids accountable because the kids are just doing what they're going to do. And honestly, you can't distance out of college. It's bullshit. The whole concept is bull fucking shit. Just like medical marijuana is bullshit. I'm not trying to go down that rabbit hole, but we can go down that one too. Yes, it is, Casey. And here in America, it's bullshit because, again, it should be open up recreational for everybody and not just medical, where I can just go to a doctor and say, I have anxiety and I don't. And can you give me a card? The whole card thing, it's a scam. It's just all bullshit. Like, just open it up so people can get their medicine.
Viva la Canada, my friends. Viva la Canada.
Right. So, okay. So you feel me, right? I saw, right. So that's what I mean by medical marijuana is bullshit. It's just all this game that you have to jump through hoop, and you can talk to a doctor for literally.
The weed.
I have friends that literally talk to a doctor for 30 seconds, and he gave them a card so they can get weed. So that tells you that all this is just a big scam. And then again, I can go down to Illinois here. What is it? 90 miles and get a card and go get weed, but I can't get it here in Wisconsin. I got enough. Doug, there was a question there Casey asked, and I don't know. No. What are you hearing locally about businesses and restaurants closing? Are you hearing anything? That's what Casey asked about, because he said 60% of restaurants can't.
I have not heard a percentage. Now, New York State has been, all right, at the beginning, we were fucking dumb. Like, our leadership didn't lead very well, for sure. But since they kind of grasped that, oh my God, this is a fucking real fucking problem, they've been really pretty baller about it. I mean, we have been at 1% infection rate for, I think, 4 to 5
long last time.
Yeah,
right.
4 to 5 weeks. I'm gonna say that, but probably longer.
Yep.
But like, that's because when shit gets fucking, they see a small spike, they just fucking clamp down. For instance, like last weekend, my brother-in-law and his kids came from Ohio, and we saw them at my in-laws, and they live about an hour away. And this coming weekend, we were supposed to have this weekend where we're like, all right, great. We're going to play golf and we're going to go to breweries and stuff like that. Now, to me, I told him I wasn't comfortable going into breweries. I was fine if I could stay outside on a patio level. For me, that was my comfort level. But I had to really make sure there was a lot of distance. I just wasn't comfortable. But then my brother-in-law called me and said, yep, Ohio's on the naughty list again. New York said, if you come in, you got to stay for 2 weeks. So our state's been pretty good, but I'm still nervous. I'm just, I don't know. I don't know how you guys, I'm going to say this, and this is going to sound kind of like an asshole comment, but like,
yes, I love it.
How long do you think we're going to have to really be really, really conscientious of masks?
It's gonna be a while.
May.
I don't know.
I have a date in mind.
I'm thinking.
I was thinking summer 2021.
Really? Yeah. I think the winter will get us partitioned off enough.
What, Doug?
Another full year. I think it's another full year.
Wait. Till next September? 9/11?
I do. Because, all right, so we know this shit is fucking serious, and we still have now, I'm not speaking to Canada, Casey, because I don't know shit up there, but. Yeah, good luck with that. I don't know.
Doug, hold on one sec, buddy. I don't want to cut you off. We'll get back to it. But Casey and I and Doug have talked about. Say that again, Casey.
Yeah, sure.
We've literally talked about having a segment on the show that Casey gets helped by America. We will help him understand America. So, anybody who's watching, if you think that's a viable thing that we could bring to the show every week or every other week, or we could have Casey here. Casey, whenever Casey's not camping on Friday, he'll be here. And Casey's done camping. So if you guys want to see that, please leave it in the comments, and we will produce. Since we don't produce shit on the show,
I'll just draw lots of pretty things to go like for
right.
and everything. I got that. I got you.
Segment and roll that out if that's what you guys want to do. So I don't know. Let everybody. Yeah. So back to this though. Doug, Fauci says end of 2021.
I think that's right. And I'm going to defer to the fucking scientists. Imagine that. I'm an infectious expert. Imagine that. And I'm a doofus. Nobody fucking gives a shit what I think. But like the people that are in charge just won't listen. So yeah.
So if we reelect Jackass, then it's going to be longer than that. Period.
Yes.
Period.
It is because
period.
He was just publicly recorded saying, I knew how serious this was and fuck everybody.
Correct.
And anybody on that side didn't say shit. Everybody's like, yeah, he was just trying to stop a panic. Oh, yeah, that guy is trying to stop a panic. Oh, the caravans,
Antifa,
terrorism, and
hold on. The worst,
and yeah, you're worried about panic. Fuck you.
Hold on. The worst one. I'm about to install fear into everyone. You ready? Cory Booker is coming to the suburbs. Do you guys see this? Like, he literally, it was like 2 days and he stopped it. He literally was using Cory Booker as a reason that people were going to be afraid of something. Cory Booker. Does it get any more
non-threatening?
Yes. Cory fucking Booker. Like, you could have said Reverend Al Sharpton. Much better. You could have said, like, there's so many other better black activist people who Cory Booker? Anyway, so with that being said, JHG loves Casey, loves that Casey. He absolutely agrees with our segment. Kelly thinks it could be a comedy segment.
Dark comedy, the darkest kind of
Very
comedy.
dark comedy.
So, shout out to Kelly. We've been referencing her. She's been commenting. Kelly is the co-founder of the Black Fathers Foundation. We met Matt, her husband, at Dad 2.0 in Washington. I am now working with them. We are forming a board, and I hope to be part of that board. We are going to be a national nonprofit. I run the Twitter, so if you're on Twitter, Black Fathers Foundation, look it up. But Kelly is amazing. I love her. Her husband, Matt, is great. I'm working on getting them on the show.
Nice.
Kelly, come on. Kelly, look, if Matt is too tired to come on the show, come on, lady, let's go. So we are working on a whole bunch of stuff. Casey, I'm going to be calling you up soon about something that we're working on there.
Oh,
but I just wanted to give Kelly a shout out that she's doing great work. She founded a great foundation, and I'm just thrilled to work with them, actually. So that's kind of what I'm doing too on the side. So it's fantastic, and I love it. So anyway,
as you know, I am working on a book on Black fatherhood with one of Canada's biggest publishers. I'm keeping it a bit on the DL. I'm not putting it all over my socials yet, but between between you, Mr. Washington, between the Pressberries and several others, I'm working on things up here, up north of the border. So I'm going to be talking to y'all.
Man, this is why we got this guy, isn't it? Though. Anyway,
I'm always up to something.
Back to Daniel Fisher says it's content. We should do that segment. What is Kevin saying here?
I don't know. It's a reference to something. I don't know what.
Right. Boogeyman Booker, right? Cory Booker. Scary old Cory Booker. He's so scary. Oh my God.
Keeps me up at night, Cory Booker. With that wonderful, genuine smile of his. It just freaks me out.
And don't get me wrong, I love Cory Booker, man. He's great, but he's not like if you're trying to like scare somebody, it's not going to be Cory Booker. Just saying.
The old weird bastard.
Thanks, Greg. I feel like one of the guys. Kelly, please, whenever you're ready to come on, it'll be one of us three here, or two of us three, or it might be all of us actually. Yeah. Our next scheduled event with all of us, just to let everybody know, is the week after Election Day. It's the Friday after Election Day. It'll be us three.
I will either be entirely fucking drunk or fucking jumping up and down. There's going to be no in between.
Listen, man. I don't even want to know if we reelect Trump. What the fuck's going to happen at that? I just don't know. I don't even know if America's going to be intact.
Well, the other thing is,
all hell is going to break loose. Especially if all hell will break loose, Doug. If Biden goes into this election, the lead that he has now is the lead that he had 2 weeks ago, is the lead that he had 6 months ago, is the lead that he's probably going to have in a month. If he goes into that election with 10 or 15 points and loses, all hell is going to break loose. I thought all hell was going to break loose in 16. All hell is going to break loose because this motherfucker cheated. That's my opinion, and I'm not going to be the only one who thinks that. And I'm not even a conspiracy guy. I am not a conspiracy guy. But you can't just be jumping polls by 10 and 15. It doesn't. I'm not hearing that, and I'm not hearing how bad polls are. No. I'm hearing about a cheating motherfucker, and he's been cheating from jump. He cheated to get where he's at now, and he's cheating now. So this is going to be Belarus, man. I'm telling you.
So I see a comment from Beer Day.
Look Belarus up. I'm not trying to talk down on anyone, but look at what's going on with Belarus. The same thing that's about maybe to happen here.
So I see a comment from Beer Days though that we need to talk about here. There may be a huge influx to Canada, and
You better lock those borders down, motherfucker.
I'm just saying, there's only so much we could do about this because, like, you look at the size of. Okay, I love doing comparisons because I like numbers.
I don't care at this point.
I've always like the size of the Canadian military is 42,000 people, while the size of the American million is 1.3 million, and I'm just kind of like, there's only so much we can do to protect our border.
Right, or we're just gonna roll over that shit. I'm gonna be one of the motherfuckers.
All right, as long as y'all stay in Niagara Falls, it's cool.
No,
Don't
Casey,
go past Niagara Falls.
Casey, you got a basement. Don't front.
I do got a basement. It's true.
Right.
I'm in it right now. Listen, I'll make a VIP list. Certain people can come over to the basement. Everyone else stay in Niagara Falls.
Okay. Right. Again, you guys, if people think all hell broke loose, I'm just telling you. We're gonna become Belarus if that happens. Now, listen, if the polls tighten and like things look like it's going to get closer and then he wins, that's a different story. But if it stays the way it is now, I'm telling you, I'm going to be out in the streets. Fuck that. What are you going to say? Doug, you were saying something?
I think what we need to keep in mind, which I don't think we're really thinking about, is the idea that so there's going to be the traditional vote. We're in COVID times. There's going to be a lot of people voting by mail. That is not something Trump will be cool with, because if he somehow is ahead when the regular vote comes out and then the mail-in vote comes in and just fucking slaughters him, he'll just say it's all fake.
Right, and that's when we go to the White House with torches, dog. Fuck it. Like, we're going back to the revolutionary times. It's time. It's time, Doug. And this Oktoberfest is telling me it's time. So, yeah. Right.
I was going to say, Canadians did successfully do that to your White House, just in case anyone forgot history.
Oh, so you guys came down here and burned down the White House.
Yeah.
Okay,
it's one of the proudest parts of Canadian history, and it's hilarious to us. I'm sorry.
No, okay, so then when this happens again, if he does this, then you guys are gonna come down and help us, right?
COVID, we're not coming. We're staying. We're staying north of the border.
Hey, Casey, you need to tell the Ford family to come down. We'll take them and fucking.
We'll give them up. We'll
infect them. Fuck them.
But you guys couldn't even keep the Royals up there, so whatever. We got the Royals, y'all.
I mean, they're not the real Royals. Like they defected. Like, let's be real here. You got the pseudo Royals. I'm like, all right, if you want.
All right,
I don't care about that shit at all. One iota.
Oh, I don't care, but it's just something I can use on Canada.
Unsuccessfully.
Look, we got the Royals and we got beer and
the Kardashians. You have the Kardashians. Go.
That's ending.
Yeah, but they still live there. Calabasas is a thing.
All right, so I always have the remove button for him, so that's pretty good. Can Neil Young put us all up?
Probably. You got room.
So if we meet at JHG's house, the revolution starts there, and at Port City. Holla.
I'm not going near fucking Virginia.
Why?
Dude, that Virginia is Virginia is they're the whole thing today where VMI was trying to get rid of Stonewall Jackson's fucking statues, and they were like, fuck that. That's our fucking heritage. And I'm like,
Right.
I'm not going to Virginia either. Fuck that.
Kelly, facts. We out of here. Cheeto head remains. I don't know what the hell is gonna happen.
Here's my question as American. All right, so I am unable to leave the country because I have kids who are of age, and my ex-wife is never going to leave this country.
So can't we smuggle them?
Yeah, and then have the fucking cops come and fucking arrest me. Yeah, no, I'm not doing that.
Wait, which ones? Because Canadian cops, they're all right. They're not as crazy as yours. Like LAPD will give you a ticket for jaywalking, which blows my friggin' mind. Up here, they're friendly enough.
Yeah,
Kinda.
I get that, but that's not just whoa. That's a considerate part of fucking Virginia. That is not a small segment of Virginia. Virginia is a huge fucking state.
Oh, he knows.
It's huge. So you have this small fucking
He's getting heated.
conservative
we're getting heated.
Confederate flag nonsense.
Well, Casey, do you I'm not trying to talk down to you. Do you understand the geography of Virginia?
A bit.
Tri-state, right? And then you have Virginia versus West Virginia.
I know.
Alexandria, which is kind of where JHG is from, is in that Alexandria area, which is kind of almost like a suburb of DC.
Well,
Yeah, I looked at a map when I went down to Dad too. To be like, well, okay, cool, I get it for the most part.
Around DC, yes, in the suburbs. But then once you get out, it gets
After
crazy.
that, you're in fucking Podunk Town. So yeah.
Ooh, Beer Days wants to know what my favorite snack foods are.
Right.
Salt and vinegar chips, Miss Vicky's. It's great.
Vinegar chips suck.
Salt and vinegar chips are great. Stop it.
They are.
Stop it.
Casey, watch
They are the redheaded stepchild of chips.
Salt and vinegar chips. I'm grumbling on them, but
Listen, y'all got like 50 flavors over there. Let me have one. Let me have one.
Have that. It's a shitty flavor, but you can have it.
Look, and I rarely put myself in this
Ketchup
box.
chips. Those things stuck too. So fuck that.
Doug, you just took my thunder. How can we give any credit to anybody who likes ketchup chips?
Listen, 37 million people can't be wrong. Stop it.
Oh. How many people voted for Cheeto Head?
We had nothing to do with that. Yeah. Ketchup chips and Cheeto Head do not overlap. There's no intersection between them.
How many people voted for the Ford family?
Okay, well.
How many million?
Well. Yeah. That was a big Canadian fail.
We're back on the same page, Doug. Ms. Vicky.
Awesome. I will agree with Beer Days there. Miss Vicky's
Beer Days and I can hang.
Wait. What's Miss Vicky's?
It's a brand of chips and it's delicious.
Mm-hmm.
It's kettle chips. So they're more flavorful, better flavors, and Lay's can. I won't say Lay's can suck it because I'll take a brand deal here and there, but Miss Vicky's is good.
Okay, brother.
Doug and I disagree more than Matt Alf.
Shoot, bring Kevin on. Kevin's my homie right now.
Well, Kevin was on like 2 weeks ago.
Oh no, Kevin, too far. Dill pickle chips, too far. I liked them in the past. I just prefer pickles. Give me a good Bix dill pickle.
Oh my God, man! Who are you? There's.
Doug,
I'm like the wolf in the hen house right now.
Right, Doug. What did we do?
So we both didn't realize what Canada was.
That is amazing. We didn't realize what Canada was.
Right. That is the American thing to say, and that is very American, right?
We knew they had shitty bacon, and we knew they have awesome poutine. So that was about the extent of it.
Listen, no. Canadian bacon, P-meal bacon is not Canadian bacon. Some people eat that. They're confused.
Canadian bacon.
Y'all call it Canadian bacon, just like you guys call Canadian Thanksgiving. We just call it Thanksgiving. We don't call P-meal bacon Canadian bacon. We call it P-meal bacon. Bacon is bacon.
Do you call bacon? Is that what you said?
P-meal bacon.
Mm-hmm.
Is that called? I don't. Screw y'all.
Hey, guess what? You still have fucking poutine, which is goddamn and I don't think there's a better.
It is so good. It is so
Nothing in
friggin'
America
good.
is better than poutine. I'm sorry, properly made poutine is fucking scrumptious.
It's so good. Mm.
Duck's great.
I could do a poutine right now.
It has to be duck gravy with cheese curds. It has to
Duck
be.
gravy and cheese curds. That's a good mix. That's a great mix.
But that's the classic poutine, right?
Mm-hmm.
Duck gravy.
It is so good. You
Yeah.
get nice, crispy, well done fries. You get some duck gravy. You get some cheese curds, and it's just like, oh, hey, Karen, you are right. We do not call Canadian bacon. Pea meal bacon is pea meal bacon. It's a separate thing altogether. Then you have regular bacon, which is delicious and goes on everything. Pea meal bacon is a specially acquired taste. If you like it, you like it. Great to you. But it's not Canadian bacon. Whoever came up with that, ridiculous.
See, Doug, you see what we're doing with this show? We're bringing love of, we're bringing Canada and the United States together. We should, listen, we should get a peace prize. The Nobel, not the Nobel, the Nobel. I don't know if you saw that. They our wonderful our wonderful government said that our president was nominated for a Nobel Peace Prize, not a Nobel.
Not a Nobel.
Right. So we are going to get a Nobel Peace Prize for bringing Casey on.
Let that motherfucker get a Nobel Prize.
Right. He's showing us all the things that we need to know about Canada, since I'm saying it, ignorant Americans. Actually, Green Day, American Idiot, one of the best songs ever by a Canadian band. Am I wrong?
I didn't even know Green Day was Canadian.
I think Green Day is not Canadian.
What?
I don't think Green Day is Green Day from Canada.
I don't know. Let's see. How about this? I want them to be.
I will say The Old Apartment by
Green Day is an American rock band.
They're from East Bay, California. Like that's almost as far as Canada as you can get in the States.
Green Day is Canadian for me. How about that? Go on, Doug.
How does that work? How does that work?
Because this is my fucking show, Casey. God damn it. Anyway.
I was going to say The Old Apartment by Bare Naked Ladies, but
Broke into the old apartment.
Yeah.
I'm American.
Or
say that the shit is.
It's ironic by Alanis Morissette.
Oh my gosh, Jagged Little Pill is just a great album. It's so good. 96 was an amazing year.
Mm-hmm. We're gonna have to wrap soon.
Eventually, right?
An hour and 50 minutes.
We're just gonna keep going, and it doesn't even fucking matter.
I got nowhere to go.
But part of the reason why, though, Casey, maybe you know this or not, and obviously the people who watch this don't know, but part of the reason that I was so sold on you as a guest host, and I know Doug was too, is because not only because we have conversations like this and they last like an hour and a half, but like even the after show when we get off, I don't know, we just have a really good time. And the one time after we had we had an after show, I even said to Doug, I was like, man, this guy's us. I was like, this guy's us. Like, you really it's funny because again, like, how do you get us? And you're from up there, and we're just so, it feels like we're like, I feel like you're in Europe, to be honest with you. I feel like America's an island. No, it's not really about you. It's just about how I feel like America's an island, and like everybody else is just like, like 10,000 miles away, and like it just doesn't feel like we are part of the rest of the world. Actually,
I feel like the rest of the world is making you an island right now. Or like who those guys? We don't talk.
Well, right, and that's maybe what I'm feeling. Right. I just feel we're just like some outlier, all that. So yeah, I don't know, Doug. I can take you off camera if you need. So anyway, Casey, it's been fantastic. Let's answer some more things and then we can wrap. But
sure,
Rush, that is all.
A few days makes me feel like I have to listen to more Rush. Like as a Canadian, I I feel like it's almost obligatory to listen to Rush, but because I am a Jamaican Canadian, I grew up on a lot more soul, R&B, and reggae. So Rush is not something that ever made into my world, but I'm not opposed to listen to it. Beer Days, if you want to give me a top 3 to 5 of Rush songs that you love, I will listen to them, and I will come back and let you know what I think about it.
Okay, and Beer Days, you answer that, but let me answer it for you. Rush for me is you almost if you like the lead singer's voice or not. If you don't get his voice, you're never going to get Rush. He has a high-pitched voice, but Rush has one of the best drummers ever, period. Neil Peart, he recently passed, R.I.P., but he is seriously one of the best like rock drummers ever, Casey. He's fucking fantastic. But the lead singer is like, he's he reminds me of Trump, to be honest with you. He's very polarizing, meaning you either like him or not. There's no in between. Like people are like, Trump, I can take him or not. No. It's I hate Trump or I love him. Like that's kind of the same thing about Rush, in my opinion. Like it's I love Rush, I hate them. So what I'm gonna say to you is this: 2112. Rush is an old school band, meaning you play them like you put an album in and then just play it. You know what I'm saying? Like taking songs out of them, it's gonna kind of be hard. But Beer Days tries it here.
I try to show it, but I can never get this right. Anyway, I wrote it down. It's all here. It happened. So I'm on it.
Yep. Tom Sawyer, you know Tom Sawyer. You heard that song. That song is really, really popular. We won't sing it here because again, I'm not trying.
Don't get us banned, man. Don't get us banned.
No, he answered your question. That's great. But they also to be Rush is more of that. You put an album in and you let it play. So Doug's back.
Hey.
Doug, anything on Rush? I know you're not generally a rock guy. You're more of a
No, I am.
I'm sorry.
Why? Because when I was in college, my fraternity was a huge Rush band. Like they all loved them. Actually, saw them in concert several times when I was in college.
Oh, sure. Okay.
I remember going to one, and it was in DC. And I went to college at Lebanon Valley College, which was in proximity to Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. So we went, and the opening band was like fucking insane. And we were just like, who the fuck are these guys? And so, of course, Rush is fucking awesome, and they're just great. And it was the band that opened for him was Blues Traveler.
Wow.
Fucking Blues Traveler. And they were unbelievably good. But Rush is great. Tom Sawyer is one of my favorite songs from them. I mean, they have a huge and I think Rush, like I think Greg, you mentioned, it's like more like you either really like them or you just think they fucking suck.
Right. There's no in between.
I don't think there's a lot in between, but I think though there's a universal connector to that is that everybody loves Neil Peart.
Yeah.
That guy's
who's the lead singer? What's the lead singer again?
Oh, it's Geddy Lee.
Yes, his voice is polarizing. Again, you either like it or not. And when I first listened to Rush, I didn't like it. It grew on me, and now I love it. But like, it's polarizing as hell. It's not in between. There's no in between, and really, so that's it. So yeah, Blues Traveler Dinger went to high school with me. I'm not sure who.
Oh shit, Pepper. Name Pepper. I can't remember his name. I want to say it's not Jeff Tepper, but it's like I think his name is Tepper. I think his last name is Tepper. Yeah.
Casey, what do you got there? Did you open up a new one?
No, finishing my last one. I've been too busy joking with y'all to drink my actual beer, so I'm finishing it up now.
Can I share one thing before we sign off? Because this is something I wanted to share with everybody. This
sharing is caring.
Pumpkin whiskey from Southern Tier. I didn't like their bourbon, and this is their bourbon, pumpkin flavored bourbon. Their bourbon is like 4 years old. It is aggressive as fucking hell. But this is like liqueur, like pumpkin liqueur. It's really, 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 really smooth and really good.
Yes.
Every time
hard liquor.
Every time I see a pumpkin pun, it throws me off. Every time I see a pumpkin pun, I don't know how to take it because in Jamaican slang, pum pum is the same thing as punani, which is the same thing as a vagina. So every time I see pum, I'm always saying like, I don't know how to take this word. I saw that. I was like, Pum King, King of the Pum. And I'm like,
Yeah, no, it doesn't taste like that. At least none I've ever tasted.
Yes, Doug. Yes, Doug.
And you guys see what rapping early would have cost us? We've never heard that.
Yeah, that's true.
This is why we don't rap early. So getting back to what we're talking about. Bruce Trevor's singer.
Oh my god! Thank you, Daniel.
He confirmed it was a singer. John Popper.
John Popper, yes.
Yes, he did a Blues Brother imitation at a talent show. John Popper. I worked newspaper with his brother. Oh my god. So, we also normally what would happen at this time when we're rapping, we would say goodbye to our guests, and Doug and I would wrap the show. But since we don't have a guest, and Casey is,
so Casey, man, what's your favorite? What do you rank?
Yeah, so Casey, how many beers did you actually drink? And also, before we wrap and before I let you finish, Doug, we're gonna have to get him some beer glasses up there. So we might have.
I have some. I just have to bust them out.
We might have to do an intervention too, and maybe send you one too. But hey, hold on. This is still a good thing, Casey. Though, if there's some way that you can't get a Black is Beautiful sent up to you, Doug and I should be able to work on that because I need to get.
Thank you.
So, Casey, you do that. Try to see if you can get it, but if not, Doug and I will work on that. How about that?
Awesome. Appreciate it.
And that is our salvo for you joining us and giving us your time and being a great guy. And before we get to you being a part of the family and we insulting you every week, we're gonna be nice the first week.
That's more of the hazing.
Just so you know, you're gonna be slandered when you're probably not here and all that. So we're just gonna get all that out of the way. Well, that's part of the whole thing. Like when I'm not here, you're gonna slander me, and it's part of the whole thing. So we're
definitely.
Be like that fucking white piece of shit.
Right. We're just getting right. Right. Once Casey and I have one show that's all Black dudes, we may never go back. What do they say? That's what they. Right. So like,
I'll just have to comment from afar.
What'd you say?
I'll just have to comment from afar.
Right. We don't know what's going to happen.
Where's Doug this week? They went black.
Right. I love that. I love
that might be too deep of a cut there of a reference. They went plaid.
Again, I will never forget how we introduced Casey as a co-host. So it was fantastic. I couldn't have wrote it up better, actually.
2 freaking hours, and I'm going to tell you, as we say sometimes, it's like this shit just went so fast. It doesn't feel like 2 hours at all. This is why you're here, Casey, and this is why we're happy to have you.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm still reading these comments, and I'm like, I love this group. I love the crowd. Oh,
the fourth co-host. Oh, James, he's the third.
Oh, he's angling now too.
I ain't going nowhere.
Doug is the albino. Oh my fucking God. So Casey, what were you drinking and what was good about it? Because if we don't rap now, we're never gonna rap.
Yeah, we're gonna be here.
So the Earl Grey weed is my pick this week. With black tea, cornflower petals, bergamot, and coriander. It was delicious. It went down smooth. I felt that the Wag the Wolf was okay, but it's kind of like your standard IPA. It really didn't blow my mind in any way, but this was just like a nice, smooth, drink it down and have a good evening kind of drink. So well done, Collective Arts. keep kicking them out because you guys keep doing a good job out there.
Can I ask
And
you about the Earl Grey
what was the other one?
wheat? What was the ABV on the Earl Grey wheat, if I could ask?
I'm looking. There we go. Doesn't tell you much, but
That makes
5%.
it super crushable. Then that's good.
Mm-hmm. Nice, easy drink.
And what was the other one, Casey?
The other one was the Wag the Wolf from Bose, and they have a beer called the Lug Tread, which everyone loves. Also a 5. Hold on, there we go. My lights are screwing this up, but it's also a 5. And yeah, it's fine. It was fine. Like it didn't do anything for me really when it comes down to like the flavors and everything. But you know, nice pretty art on the can. I respect the artist. The artist did a really good job. But Collective Arts wins the day.
Yeah, it really fails. Doug?
All right, so I'm going to start with the PB Cup as the probably, and again, not a bad beer. It's my probably least favorite of the 3 I had. Very peanut butter forward. The porter was roasty, but I would rather more roasty and a small bit of peanut butter. It was the opposite. That's why I'm just going to say it was the least. That doesn't mean it sucks. It's a good beer. It's really good. Second one is the beer called Quest.
Yep.
Which is Northeast IPA. This is excellent. And you know, Greg, I'm not an IPA fan in general, but I drank the hell out of this, and I'm going to send you one of these, so you're going to have one of these to try too.
Boom.
The winner was clearly the Wolf. That was boozy and fucking delicious and everything I want in an imperial stout aged in bourbon barrels, like just super high ABV. Like again, the high ABV is one thing. It just is. It's 12.3, but like it's. I love that sort of. Just give me the stout and give me the booze on top of it, but make sure that the booze doesn't overwhelm the stout, and it just balanced that shit perfectly well. Really, really good. So yeah, that's my winner is the Wolf.
So
you
Oktoberfest. You know, as we get into more Oktoberfest, and as I get to be more closer to being a quote beer expert, I know this is going to be an uncomfortable and unthing fun to say, but Oktoberfest is becoming one of my mess styles. Sorry, I'm not. It's all right. I don't know. Multi beers, it's good. This is a good one. But the style overall, I know it's unpopular, but sorry. Better off red. It's red. It's good. Nothing really more to say. These two were from Vintage. Vintage's thing is like, as far as they hit the styles, they do the styles right, but you know they're the best brew pub in America last year, so they want you to come and eat food and drink, and they want everybody. It's one of those places where you bring everybody together. Their beers are fantastic, though. They won an award on this one, but I'm going to give them my number one on Parched Eagle Hop Bear with Mosaic, a big nice IPA. It's fantastic, especially with the mosaic there. So I love it. It went down easy to start. So, Doug, you want to talk a little bit about our next guest?
Yeah, so we're going to repeat guest. It was one that I have known for somebody for a while. And when I proposed him as a guest, you were like, okay, but I don't know them. And we had her on and she was fucking awesome. And you were just like, that was a great fucking guest. And I'm like, yeah, I know because I know her. And it's Renee Pickup, who's author, editor, lives in one of the most beautiful places in America. She lives in Joshua Tree, California. And it's just like this desert, gorgeous place. And the fact that she lives in California is a bit weird because California is mostly on fucking fire. But not where she lives because she's almost near the Mexico border. But she still gets ash and fucking shit like that. It's fucking crazy. So
it's hard to start a fire in a desert.
It's really hard to be like. So we're on the East Coast. So what's funny is like I see some of it, but I only see some of it because of Twitter. I don't see like the news reporting on it as much. And that's just fucking crazy because this is part of our country and part of it is on fucking fire. Like,
Yes, sir.
But Renee is awesome. I
Um,
adore her. We both adore her. So yeah, it's gonna be great.
The thing about Renee is the last time she was on the show was really at the height of the civil unrest, Casey. So, but she's a Marine vet, and one of the things she talks about is the discrimination and the sexism and all that bullshit that goes on within the Marines towards women. And she wasn't comfortable about talking about that, like during, this is like 2 weeks after George Floyd. So like, she's like, no, I'm not trying to talk about that. Let's just, you know what I mean? So we were like, no, we're going to book you again because we want to talk about that. And since then, I believe we've had 3 or 4 people die at Fort Hood.
Yeah, the Fort Hood is fucking insane.
It's a mess, right? So we're going to talk to her about that. It's going to be some serious shit, but I do want to get into her, get into her mind about all that shit. So it's going to be interesting, Casey. And we don't know for sure when we're going to see you next, Casey, but we're going to see you soon.
Oh, no, we do.
Oh, you will.
No, we don't, because he could be here next week. We don't know.
That's true. And Casey, you're fucking welcome to jump in every fucking week. You're part of the crew now.
Yeah. So you'll be seeing Casey more. I will suspect it's not every week, but we're going to work him in, and we absolutely going to do. I don't know. Everybody was all happy about that. Explain to me what America is. We can try.
Help me understand America.
Right. We could try. I'm not going to say we're going to be able to. We can give it our good effort. But yes, Casey already has.
America.
Yes. We can almost. We need to have like music too. It needs to be like this big segment. Oh, we don't produce anything. That's the one thing we should produce. But no, and I kind of Casey and I are going to do a show, but I kind of wanted to tamp that down, and we'll keep it, you guys will be surprised when it happens. How about that? But next week is Doug and I and Renee. So again, Casey, thank you for again joining our crazy band here. And actually, for the first time, we'll let you say the goodbyes.
I don't even know how you guys do it. I mean, guys,
here you go.
Wow. Thank you very much for joining another Brothers in Booze. I'm Casey Palmer from Canada, and we welcome you anytime. We love seeing y'all, seeing your faces, seeing your comments, and we'll check you out next week. Bye-bye.